Put it down. Put it down.
Hello, everybody. I was just waiting for every one of them to set up on live. I'm in a new location for my lives this morning, as you can probably note from the background, and we'll see how that all goes. This one didn't start, so let's get that one up and running. Hi, how are you? So yeah, new setup, all new setup. So I'm Tanya Baldwin. I am a trauma wellness healer. My company is Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self, and I do a collective card pull plus individual cards for those who are willing to stick it out till the end. But I do a individual card pulls at the end of the thing, and I go from 9 until 10 a.m. approximately Eastern. So hi, welcome. So first we'll get to the main reading for the collective, and then we'll get into individual cards. So the first card that I pulled for today was Milk and Honey. Good morning, love. Was Milk and Honey, which Milk and Honey is just a beautiful, beautiful message. It's the taste of prosperity, opportunities, born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, and trusting that your needs will be met. So you've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. Good morning, Sarah. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. I think it's a pretty good message so far today. So for relationships, specifically sensuality, connection, and passionate romance between lovers, sweet moments of understanding, and love among family and friends are all here for you to savor now. Your heart's calling will be answered. Let your thoughts and feelings be sweet with gratitude, and you will be nourished with the honey of abundance. Again, just beautiful message. And for prosperity, there is only one authentic you. This version of yourself is the spirit's emissary to the world. When you're in alignment with the truth that you are a unique expression of the divine, your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. When you find this direction, you'll automatically step into prosperity, and the world brings you evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make right now, you have the potential to seize good fortune and embrace your destiny. Opportunities will lead you to your best life now. Be open to them. You're getting a sweet taste of what you want. So I love that as our first card for the day. Now let's see what the other messages are from the other cards that support this morning's message. So the other card that I pulled was number 16, Empty Well. Okay, so time to replenish. So we've got milk and honey, but we're replenishing, okay? So there's nothing here. It's time to replenish, and you're just diminishing yourself for another. So the empty well reveals that there is nothing for you here. The well is dry, and the desert is encroaching on your once fertile garden. It is time to face this harsh reality and move on. Give gratitude and thanks for the abundance you have experienced, and let spirit guide you to your next destination. That might mean saying goodbye to someone or something, or insisting on changing the rules of the game. So we're in this land of milk and honey, but we have an empty well. That seems kind of interesting. But we have other cards to support this. So let's see what it all comes together as in the end. So stop diminishing yourself for the sake of another. Making yourself small will not produce the results you want. There is a lack of reciprocity of give and take. The empty well tells you that it's time to reclaim what is yours and return what does not belong to you. The shadow cast in your direction are not of your making. You do not need to react or respond to them, as they are not real. Simply shine your light upon them and see how it dispels them. These shadows are projections that you are confusing for reality. You may have been offered a shovel to help you dig yourself out of a comfortable situation, a bucket to drink from a well, but you cannot dig yourself out of this hole and remember that there is no water to be found in the well. Receive the empty well as a gift. Do not exert your energy and waste your resources by repairing the walls or mending the rope. Follow the watercourse way, the aquifers that run deep in the earth. Hello. And you will be led to a new spring oasis. You can find these underground streams, these rich natural resources, in the subterranean depths of your own heart. So let's see how these two are supported by the other cards, because that might give us a way that we're pulling this together, what the message is for the person. Because the other card that I pulled for the tarot to support is the Justice card. All right, so there's our Justice card. Beautiful card. So Justice, I went to the wrong number. I went to 21, not 11. Oops. Justice is number 11. So the Light Seer, natural law, balance, karma, truth, wisdom, legal matters, fairness, cause and effect, integrity, objectivity, perspective, accountability. Hello. So Justice asks you to learn from your past experiences, the good, the bad, and the fugly. So really ugly. Take it all and grow from it. This energy is not about perfection, but about fairness and honesty. It highlights clarity of motivation and intention. It asks you to be realistic about the cause and effect of your thoughts and actions. Seek to balance your growth with both positivity and shadow. So if you're watching on TikTok, if you tap on the screen, it gives likes. And when you give likes to the video, it spreads it out so that more people will see it. It'll come up on their feed a little more. So I would love it if you could tap on the screen and give me some likes to share the video out further. So it asks you to be realistic about the cause and effects of your thoughts and actions. Seek to balance your growth from both positivity and shadow and learn from the many different parts of you. In your current situation, be impartial as you reframe your reality and work to remove any negative emotional charge from the equation. If fear is causing you to act in a way you aren't proud of, seek a variety of perspectives before judging another person's actions to be good or bad. Action, like anything that's good or bad, is our perspective of it, right? We're the ones that determine whether it's good or bad. And we can use that like really simply, some cultures eating meat or some diets, but some cultures, don't eat pork because that's considered bad. So, it's your perspective on what is good or bad. It's not necessarily that something is inherently bad or something is inherently good. So if fear is causing you to act in a certain way, seek a variety of perspectives before judging another person's actions to be good or bad. The only true path ahead of you is not one that is necessarily black or white, but it is always, always one of love. My good karma is delightfully loving, and it can be the most motivating of teachers. It's a good message with that. So we have our empty well, we have justice, and we have milk and honey. Let's see if this astrology, this card here, if this one pulls it all together. Hi, I'll put you right on the list. First thing, Linda, you get the card first. And I hope you're looking forward to our session later today. I am. So the last card that I pulled is Cancer, and it's immerse is what it says, number 4. So let's see. And just a reminder, if you're on TikTok, to tap and give some likes, because that expands where the message is going to, or the people that are going to see it. Sorry, hiccup. So Cancer is symbolized by a crab who asks us to dive deep into the sea of emotion and come back home again. Hi, what's your name? Because I only see Facebook user, and I would love to pull a card for you. So the Cancer asks us to dive deep into the sea of emotion and come back home again. The crab always carries its protective shell, however. This moon-ruled cardinal water sign, hi Holly, definitely have your name on the list. This moon-ruled cardinal water sign signifies nutrition in and out of the body and is connected to the breasts and stomach. The sun shines here from June 21st to July 22nd. The action: be the emotional leader and connect with the parent archetype. If you are in need of parenting yourself, reach out to the divine mother and father, to the earth beneath the sky, the earth beneath, the sky above, and feel held. Once you feel fed by spirit, it becomes easier to accept the ordinary human limitations of the people around you. If you're called to parent others in this situation, whether in love or work, do so with a balanced approach of honest feedback and support and self-care. Nurture without enabling. Model what you want others to do. Just hang on one second. I'll comment on that. Nourish the connections with your chosen family and tribe. Nourish bodies, gardens, communities, and your temple's hearth. Cancer calls us to deepen our relationship to home, but not to get stuck in this protective shell. If you need more out of life, you'll have to leave this safety to find what you need. Find a home base or a safe place within your soul, and from that safety, be ready to bravely explore and risk caring with all your heart. Good morning, Letitia. How are you? You can definitely have a card today. I have your name on the list. So challenge. Crabs are hard on the outside, but soft and squishy on the inside. Remember that the very defenses you think will keep you safe may actually keep important people out. And we do that. A lot of our trauma response does that. Unfortunately, we don't think that it does, but that's what we got used to doing when we were children, right? If we were around people that were abusive, we had all these different protective mechanisms and coping habits that we put in place to keep them away from us or to protect ourselves from them. And we also had, protective states for when we were neglected. So we would do these things to draw attention to us, right? So catastrophizing, which is what we call it as adults, is when we blow things out of proportion. As kids, we call it temper tantrums, right? So as a kid, you would throw a temper tantrum to get attention because you want that, you feel neglected, right? So we would throw our arms about and, stomp our feet to get that attention to us. But as adults, when we catastrophize and we blow things out of proportion, it just harms us. So that's why we have to look at how we were protecting ourselves as children and whether or not those protections are harming us now as adults. So soften your shell. You have a backbone and are not protected solely by the exoskeleton. So don't hide within that little shell that you have. The gift, be aware of the psychic pool in which you float. If you feel tossed by the waves or battered by the anxiety of those around you, dive down deeper and find the calm below. Float in the ocean of collective consciousness and feel cradled and nurtured by the Divine Mother, fed and cuddled. Hi, how are you, Cassandra? You can definitely, I will put you on the list right now. And you popped in at the right time. So I'm doing basically the summary of what these 4 cards, because they do seem to be counter, like they're kind of, it's hard to see the message that's sitting there with them, because the first thing was all about this land of milk and honey. So it was a really good card talking about a prosperous time. Good morning, Jenny Lynn. How are you, dear? Right, that land of milk and honey, but it's talking about this empty well. So maybe the well that's empty is your own well, right? And what are wells best? Cancer, that's water, right? And justice. So I think the whole point of this thing is to make sure that you're aware that you need to be in alignment with who you truly are, right? You need to be completely in alignment with who you truly are. And when you're in that authentic zone, that's when you get that land of milk and honey. When you're being you, when you're showing up as you're showing up in your own, your own authenticity, loving yourself, right? We can't fill other people up from an empty well. We have to be full on the inside, right? It's like when you're in, sorry to hear you're still under the weather, dear. When you're in an airplane and they say, put your mask on first, that's because if you put your mask on, you can go forward and you can help any number of people because now you have a mask on. So you're getting oxygen, you're safe. But if you don't put the oxygen mask on you may go to save somebody, run out of oxygen, not be able to save them and not save yourself. And then there's 2 people now that are affected by that. So you want to fill up that well of yourself before you go on to giving to other people, right? So it is that you have to come from a sense of, I know who I am. I'm full of love. I'm being authentic. And when I show up in that, it's going to be the land of milk and honey. So that's really what the message I think is for. And to look at, where Are you making judgments on people? Are you judging people too harshly? And are you just looking at your own perspective? There's always more than one perspective. There's the perspective of everybody around, right? And then not going into that shell state, right? We don't want to go back in and climb into that shell and, to protect ourselves, right? We want to know that we do have a backbone. We can stand up in those boundaries. And when you really love yourself, having boundaries becomes a lot easier. You want to protect yourself, right? You treat yourself like, you become the parent that you've always needed or wanted. Does my husband know I'm on here talking to strange men? My partner knows exactly what I'm doing. And I'm out, building a business is what I'm doing. Building a business. But hi, Michael. How are you? So that's the message. Now we're on to, whoops, put that card in the right pile. Now we're on to the individual card pulls. And so far I have Linda, Holly, Letitia, and Cassandra. And if anyone else wants a card, oh, Dylan, I see your name there, dear. I'm just making sure. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Friday. I didn't even say happy Friday to everybody yet. I like to say it is Friday because most of us are in that working for the weekend. I'm building a life that I don't have to escape from. So every day is just a day, and I like to be as in the present moment as possible. So I have Dylan and Jenny and Martha. So just remember, I do have a list, so it will take a little bit of time to get to you. So just be patient. And while you're watching and being patient, just tap on the screen if you're on TikTok to get those likes. So we spread the video out so we get more people, get the message out there. Good morning. Whoever said good morning, Tanya. I don't see your name. Happy Friday, right? A life that you're not running away from. I don't want a life where I'm like, waiting for that next stage, right? So, I don't want to go to work in the morning if all I'm thinking about is what's after work, right? Because I'm not in that present moment. I'm not enjoying the space that I'm in. If I'm working just to get to the end of my day because I want that free space, then that's not a job that's feeding me any value. Same thing, if I'm working for the weekend, I'm just pushing to get through to that weekend. Well, that's the same thing. I'm not happy with where I am. So I want a life where I get up in the morning and I'm happy with where I am because I'm happy with who I am. And I'm doing things that are aligned with me, that light me up, right? That fill me with that joy. And that's how you get into that authentic state. And that milk and honey card would be your card. Whoa. Or we could throw them on the floor. But anyone that's watched my lives knows I throw cards. I throw cards. So whoever said hello, I don't know what your name is because it just says Facebook user. Because I broadcast on Facebook through StreamYard, you have to enable StreamYard to show your name. Linda, happy, number 26. Whoops, forgot that the camera shows them up. There, number 26. Hi, Megan. And hello. I'm not sure who said hi at the end there, but hello. Okay. Good morning, Shannon. How are you? Happy, Linda. Happy. That's your card today, is happy. I like it. All right. Let's get to the message of happy. I pulled it in the upright position, so we'll see what that is. So the essential meaning, joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. Oracle's message, your desires are effortlessly filled right now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Because a lot of times happiness is actually a choice. Right? We can choose to be in the moment and happy with the conditions of the whatever we're going through, happy with where we are at this present moment, or we can be living in that gap where we're always, like looking for the next thing, right? I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be happy when this person, or I'll be happy when this thing, or I'll be happy when I achieve this specific thing. right? It's being happy in the moment, because in the moment, usually it's pretty good, right? It's usually our brains that are traveling into the future, into the past, that is bringing up stuff that is negative from one of those areas that really does cause us our problems, right? But being in the present moment, if we pull ourselves into the present moment and we shut out, what's the news is broadcasting, or what media is saying, or what, we're seeing negatively, or comparisons or judgments or whatever that's coming at us, in our present moment, if we sit here, we're like, hey, it's not so bad. It's not so bad, right? Hi. Okay, so finish on with the message so I can get to the other cards. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. So I think that's just a fantastic message for you, Linda. Just be in the present moment. Choose to be joyful. Choose to be happy. Oh, and this is giving me, I'm going to close that. It's giving me low battery. So I'm hoping, I'm going to check and see what the battery is at, 10%. Let's see if I can arrange that in such a way. I do have a really large charge cable here, but I was hoping it would hold on throughout the broadcast. I'm like, where did I throw it? I'm like, I have a really, really, really long cable. So I just have to get it plugged in and then see about how I'm going to set that up so that it doesn't crap out on us. So let's get the power onto the thing. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry for the angle. Check out the ceiling. Check out the ceiling. Now, let's see how this is going to work. We're going to have to figure out a way to balance this puppy somewhere. Apologies. I was going to set it up earlier. I should have. Let's see if I can stabilize this in any way. Maybe. Ha. We did it. We got the charge cord in. Hi, Masana. Would you like a card, or are you just saying hi? Most times I try to get as many people with cards as possible. So after Linda is Holly. Okay, so let's see what Holly's message is. The card. I will put your name down. And you know what, Linda, right beside your name, after I wrote it, I drew a heart. Yes, you can, Corey. You just have to be patient because there's a list, but I have no problem giving anybody a card. And especially if you give likes, love the likes. The likes are cheap and free, right? It's just a tap. And then it gets the video out there further. All right. So Holly, channel your energy, Holly. Apparently throw some cards around. I throw the cards around because that's what changes the order of them, because then sometimes somebody needs a message that's in protection. So the milk and honey, Holly. And I'll show that one. And I will write you on the card on Kat and Remy. Perfect. Okay, so milk and honey. We read this message already, but I will go over and Shannon, I will put you on there for a card as well. Perfect. Okay, so we'll see how we should be able to get through this list in the next 20 some minutes, but we'll get a little bit slow on who we accept for cards after that, because I'm trying to be getting better with my time management. But hi from Abbotsford. Very nice, Greg. I lived in British Columbia for about 10 years of my life in total. So 51 is your card, Holly, the land of milk and honey. And we'll just read that oracle's message. So this is a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone. So you must be showing up as you right now. And if you're in your authentic zone, then you're going to align with the stuff that is meant for you. And you become this magnet. You just pull that stuff towards you, the stuff that's authentically aligned with you. So these are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance energy abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. So beautiful. Sorry, I don't have people join my lives. So sorry about that. So yeah, just stay in that authentic zone, love yourself, and see things just align with you in a beautiful way. I think that's a great message for you, Holly. Now after Holly is Letitia. This is your card, love. And then after is Letitia is Cassandra, Dylan, Jenny, Martha. Yeah. I've found that my life has drastically changed since I stepped out of victim mode, because when you're traumatized, it's easy to become, you were victimized, right? When you were traumatized, you were victimized, but we stay in that state of being in that victim mode, right? Where we think that life is happening to us and we have no control over it. Sounds good. I will see you later on. I'm looking so forward to it, Linda. So when we get stuck within that victim mindset, then we believe we don't have any control over our lives. And it's when you take the control back that it drastically alters how you show up for the world and how the world starts to show up for you. Yes, right? Victim mindset's not a good one. So Letitia, what the heck? How 3 times? 3 times. This is like, people say it's 3 times. Apparently you were meant to get the message from this morning too. So this is all about be your authentic self, love yourself, and you're in that state, that state of being authentically you, and stuff's going to show up for you. Hi, Paula. Again, I'll write you on the list, Paula, for a card, but it depends on whether I can get to it, because I have about a half an hour left and I have a decent list here. But, if I keep pulling, yes, taking an offense, because we take things personally, and a lot of times they're not meant personal, right? We derive our own meaning from stuff, and oftentimes when we derive those meanings, that's what gets us into trouble. Right? That's what gets us into trouble, right? So I love it. I love that, Letitia. It's a land of milk and honey for you. And maybe think about the rest of the message that I shared earlier today about, about staying in that authentic zone, and, about making sure that you're aware there's other perspectives, and just to build that love, right? How can you help from an empty well? You can't, right? You have to fill your well first. So make sure that you got all that love in there for you, and you're being authentic to you, and everything's going to come to you just like milk and honey. It's just going to pour in all the good stuff. So this card is for Cassandra. Actually, that one. Oh. So number 41. Soulmates. And I love that card. We'll show it to everybody. Show it to everybody. Nice. Hi, Alicia. Ooh, it's a good question. We'll see if I have time to get to that question. Okay. And hi, Alicia. So number 41. Soulmates for Cassandra. Hi, Jamie. So soulmates, I'll put you on the list, Alicia. And same thing with Yuma. But I don't know if I'll have time to get to it, because I'm trying to squish it down just a little bit. Hi, Jamie. How are you? So 41 for Cassandra, harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. I also do paid readings. I can drop a link for that. And that's a full reading with a 5-card spread, and then the intuitive message behind that as well. So I do have you on the list, Alicia, if I get to you, but we'll see. Right now, Cassandra. So you are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you toward them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially too. Soulmates can be friends for life or remain in your life for only a short time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gift. So Cassandra, I think that's a beautiful message. Look for those people. There's people in there that are there to teach you and elevate you and help you get to the next level. And one of them could be somebody that, you know, you're aligning with that's to be in your life for a lifetime. It's not necessarily that they're there just for a lesson or a season. Sometimes soulmates come up and they are forever. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a love relationship. It could be a partnership, right? Yeah, sounds fantastic. I love growth, right? That's what we all should be looking for is our growth. So Dylan, this card's for you. I hope you were able to stick it out. And for you that are on TikTok, I would love it if you can keep tapping your screen and getting those likes going. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. I will be doing at some point on Friday or on the weekend. I'm going to be on TikTok doing card pulls. There'll be card pulls in exchange for gifts. But nonetheless, I will be back Monday, 9 a.m. for a collective reading as well as for individual card pulls that are free. Okay, so that's the way I work it. But have a great weekend, Cassandra. And hello, how are you? All right, Dylan. Card for you, Dylan. Yeah, it's that one's yelling at me. Oh, first card in protection today. Why? And I love the why card, right? Sometimes we need to look at why we're asking questions. And in protection mode, there could be, so why is number 31. Let's give the number out too. So you could look at the number 4 as or number 31. You could look at either one of them as an additional message. So the essential meanings of why is motives, driving intention, and the power of knowing the why. When it's in protection mode, though, the message is this for you, Dylan. Sometimes subconsciously denying the truth may drive you toward a specific outcome that actually aligns with an intention hidden from your awareness. For example, you may want to be prominent in your profession, but your desire is not really about sharing your talents, but about making yourself feel better because fame would cause people to admire and approve of you. Or you may want to reunite with your partner who rejected you because you believe that your love continues to be strong, but deep down, what you really desire is to have the last word with that person. Now is the time for deep soul searching of the why that drives your choices. What you uncover will set you free and bring you ever closer to the happiness you seek, right? If we know the reasons why we're making the decision, it drastically and significantly will change the reasons why, right? Or they will change our understanding and how that stuff shows up. If I think, like why, if I think that I want to do it, for say an altruistic reason, I want to do this because I want to help save humanity, right? Like the cheerleader, she's going to save the world, right? But if I think in that sense, but then underlying it, the reason why I want to do it is actually the financial, the prosperity thing. There's nothing wrong with having that as a why, but for me to understand that would be the driving factor would just change how I show up. And as long as I'm being authentic, things are going to align with me a lot easier. It doesn't matter the why, but you should understand what your why is for why you're doing the things or why you want the things that you want. Hi, Fred. Life in general. Yes. Okay. So after Dylan is Jenny and then Martha, Megan, and then Masana. To give a little idea. So this is your card, Jenny. Okay. And you can always listen to the messages that are given for somebody else, because if sometimes a message is delivered to you. So Jenny, no place like home, number 50. I'm going to just show it to all the cameras. Number 50. And we'll get to the message for you, my dear. So sometimes there'll be a message that's given to somebody else, but it'll really, really resonate with you. And that's called a Cledon. And it's just the message needed to be delivered to you. And this was the way that it could be delivered, right? It's like seeing the angel numbers. So the 1111 all the time. If you're seeing that, look up that number to see what the relevance is or, how it fits for you. So no place like home, authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. Home feels safe and secure. It's a comfortable place to rest and create. a place that is known and you can call yours. This card signals that your ability to trust yourself and feel at home in your own skin is beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and integrity, aspects of yourself that no one can take from you. You hold your head high, yet with neither pride nor humility. Instead, you stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of your soul. This puts you in a position of power and strength. Authenticity is your home. You are safe here in the house of your spirit and spirit. So there you go. A message about being, good morning, Jess. How are you, love? A message about being your authentic self, right? Perfect. Perfect. I love it. Come home to yourself. Come home, Jenny. And then when you come home, milk and honey. It's going to be all about milk and honey. It's going to start showing up. Okay. After Jenny is Martha, then Megan, and then Masana and Corey. Okay. I hope Martha's still here. When I say your name, if you've asked for a card and I say your name, if I don't see you pop up to say yes, that you're still here, I'm going to skip you because I have quite a list and I'd rather pull a card for somebody that's still present. Although I do believe that sometimes the messages are meant that come up for other people. Hi, Callie. How are you? All right. So Martha, going once. Martha's here. Yay. All right, Martha. Oh, I know which one's yours. This one, number 34, a leg up. So show that to all of them. All righty. Number 34, and it was in the upright position, so you will get higher die. A leg up. So receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. You've come to a point where going alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with you who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. And now is such a time. So look for those people out there that are your helpers, that are aligning and trying to help you, and just be open to accepting that help. And it can be hard for some of us, right? If you grew up in an environment where when you asked for help, you were ridiculed or made to feel small or made to feel weak, then it'll be really hard to ask for that help and be open to receiving it because you get into that mindset of, hi, Sahiba, because you get into that mindset, and Katie Lynn, you get into that mindset of that asking or accepting help somehow means that you're deficient in some way, right? So hopefully you can overcome that part. If that's if it's hard for you to ask for help, I hope that you can accept the help that's freely given at this time because it's going to really get you to the next level. Hi. Well, I'll see if I can get to you. So the next one on the list is Megan, right? Is Megan still here? Because if Megan's still around, I'll pull your card for you. Otherwise, I'll move on to Masana or Corey. Those are the next ones down on the list. All right. So is Masana available? Going once, Masana. Going twice. I hope I'm not pronouncing your name incorrectly. I'm glad that makes sense for you too, as well, Martha. Alrighty. So no word from Megan. How about Megan? Megan or Masana? Either one of you two ladies still there? Megan or Masana? And if not, is Corey there? And if not, we'll move on down the list, but waiting for one of you to say hey. So Megan, Masana, Corey. And if none of you have said, hi, Corey, I will pull for you. Actually, this one right here is saying, all that glitters. All right. Hi, Fred. I feel like Romper Room. I'm glad that somebody told me what it was called because I forgot, but I do. I feel like Romper Room. So all that glitters, Corey. And I pulled it in the upright position, so I'll read you the general message as opposed to reading a protection message. So all that glitters. A need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, being mercurial. It's only human to want to adorn oneself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of oneself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card, yes, this card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all the glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object or person? So that's a pretty good message. We do get that. And if we assign our value in the things, so for me, I was the director of nursing for a long-term care, as well as for a hospital. I worked as the senior management and so I helped to manage a hospital and long-term care. And if I, that title was everything to me, well, if that title gets taken away, then I lose my value and I'm going to be just like, oh my God, who am I now? Right. But I have to have the value in myself. Then that's kind of what this is talking about, right? Is if you take away all of those things, what is underneath it all? What is at the bottom of that space? Right. So why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why is it that it attracts it to you? Right. And just, because you have to be careful. There could be somebody in a relationship. If you're talking relationship, there could be somebody in a relationship that appears really, great. And, like maybe they show up looking like the part, but underneath, it's kind of, they're a little bit rotten on the inside. So it's not going to actually be a great relationship. Right. Because underneath the surface, they might not be that great. That's kind of the whole thing about this message. It's just looking at underneath the surface. You are on the list. We're running along here. That was Corey. So I'm looking for Kat. And if Kat doesn't say anything, Rami, if Rami's there. And if not Rami, then Shannon. Okay. Good morning. How are you? Okay. So those are the ones that I'm looking for now is Kat, Rami, and Shannon. Hi, Kat. Beautiful. This is your card, dear. Good morning. I don't know who said good morning to you, but I'm sending a red heart back to you. Hi, Shannon. Perfect. So we'll do Kat, and then if I don't hear from Rami, then we'll skip to you, Shannon. Okay. Kat. Number 49, observer. I'll just show it to everyone else so they see and know. 49, observer. So the essential meaning is perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. And remember, I sip, you sip. So most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. We get a lot of that, and then people become very closed-minded, right? If you get sucked right into your personal lens, you're very closed-minded, and it wouldn't allow you to hold perspectives for other people, which everybody has their own truth, right? So much so that they come to believe these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is the perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek, and you will indeed find it. So if you're looking, sorry, Fred, maybe next time I'll be on the weekend at some point, but I'm 9 a.m. every day. If you show up right at 9, like 9 o'clock Eastern is my time zone. So right now I'm looking at 9:45. So not sure what time zone you're in, but if you show up right at 9 a.m. and say you want a card, then you'll get the first card after I do the collective reading. So that can give you a suggestion for going forward. So you make sure you get a card. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to you, Kat, about just pulling back and observing from a little bit different, right? And same thing within a relationship, right? If somebody said something, you know, like if you look at just the context of what they, or you look at just what they said to you, and you can get upset about like what they've said to you, as opposed to maybe trying to understand what they meant by it, because sometimes what we hear isn't what that other person intended. So that's kind of what that being a more observing it from a further perspective. That's what it's looking at, right? Same thing within anything that you're working in right now. Just pull back and take a look from a little bit further out. So I haven't seen Rami come up, or Rami. So I'm going to move on to Shannon now. After Shannon is Paula, Alicia. Okay. So you're welcome, Kat. Right. So just take a moment to step back and just try to be neutral in the observation of it. Try to take the emotion out of the equation for whatever you're asking about, and just give that kind of open perspective. Hi, Paula. Perfect. So Shannon and then Paula. Hi, Alexandria. How are you this morning, love? Oh, this one here, Shannon. So Shannon, chop wood. And I love chop wood. Why? Because whenever I pull chop wood for my personal reading, which I pull oracle card for myself every day. When I pull chop wood, it's a reminder for me to do those little tasks that I'm not necessarily fond of. It would be like, go file your taxes kind of thing. Hi, Star Kid. Star Kid graphics. I like that. So chop wood, being grounded in everyday experience, humility. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Nice. This is the taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity, right? If we're in that go, drive, do, we're in that masculine energy, right? And the masculine energy is the active act of participating. The feminine energy is the receptive energy, and that's about consciously allowing things. So that's the energy that you want to get into, okay? So taking away from your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. So it's an opportunity to remind you just to do those things, like do the dishes, organize, declutter, clean up. When you declutter your space, you open up yourself to be more receptive to intuition as well, right? Like all of the energy that's in all of the stuff that's around you, you can free up some of that by cleaning up your space. So it's doing things like that. If you're in a relationship, it's just, being present in the moment, hold hands, wash dishes, just have your day. Right. So I hope that was a good message for you. And hi, Paula. After Shannon, it is your card, Paula. And then after Paula is Alicia, then Yuma, and then Jess. Okay. And then we'll see if I have time for anyone else after that, but we'll get going with that. Okay. You're welcome. And it's true. I mean, I think we get so caught up in the rat race and in go and do that we forget that we're human beings and we just need to be. And that sometimes when we step back and we just are, then we open ourselves to a deeper connection with our higher spirit. We're open up our intuition more, and we receive those aha moments. And that's why meditation is such a good thing. Okay. Paula. To be fair in protection mode. So we'll start with just the essential meaning, and then I'll read the protection mode. So number 38 is the card number. So you could also look up the number 38 and see if there's an additional message for that. And then if you add 3 and 8, you get 11. So you could even look at number 11 for an additional message. So to be fair is about balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, and the law of cause and effect. So the protection message for you is injustice and inequity are a part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or are called to answer for a personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. So you're being called to be an advocate, either advocating for yourself or advocating for other people. And Ross Bob, I don't own my house, but I am renting a house that has a bathroom. And I don't know what the relevance in oracle card readings or in trauma wellness or in anything that asking me how many toilets I have is relevant. I really don't understand. So this card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. So maybe there's someone in your circle that you're trying to that you need to help out, that you need to be an advocate for. Maybe you know something, or like for me, being involved in healthcare in the ways that I'm involved in healthcare, I would be good at advocating for somebody, in the realm of healthcare. So I could use what I'm good at to help somebody else to maybe navigate the system. And that could be something, maybe somebody's looking for something within you that you're good at or that you have knowledge about that you could help advocate for them. Or maybe there's a family member that you need to, maybe go to an appointment with so that you can advocate for the proper treatment. That's the kind of the message there. Choose your cause and commit to it because you can make a difference. And it could be just advocating or volunteering or being involved in things, in more of a collective meaning, like it's not an individual that you're helping out, but collectively, like you're going to go and advocate for, I don't know, like hot lunches at a school because that they don't do that. And that's something that could benefit a lot of kids, right? So that's the kind of thing that this card's asking you to do. So one thing is for certain, if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy, and courage. So really good message for you, Shannon. For Paula. Sorry, for you, Paula. Okay, so I hope that resonates with you or you see that. And hi, user. Oh, nice. There you go. So there you go. Look at it, in that fairness and in the fairness realm, making sure that, yeah, that's awesome. I love that you educate and empower women. There's a lot of pressures on everybody. I mean, men have their own pressures, but women definitely, we have a lot of different pressures, right? And I love when they talk about that and they're like, you have to be modest, but if you're too modest, then you're a prude. And then if you show up, being and embracing your sexuality, then you're loose. If you're you have to work like you don't have children, but be a mom like you don't have a job, right? Like you have to be perfect in all the realms. So there's like a lot of pressures for that, right? So yeah. Hi, Angel. How are you today? Nice to see you. Good morning, Marla. How are you, love? Okay, so Alicia, are you still there? Because this will be your message, right? Women have so bad, right? If kids complete you, and if you don't have kids, you're somehow deficient, or, like there's so many. And money is definitely not. What we want is what money buys. We don't want the money. We just want what the money buys. Hi, Margaret. So is Alicia still there, dear? Because if not, then I'm going to move on to Yuma. And if Yuma's not there, then I'm going to move on to Jess. All right. Move on to who's present. But yeah, it's that big criticism back and forth. I don't think men get the same get the same criticism, although I do know that men have their own challenges that they're fighting against, right? Men have to be strong. Men can't cry, right? Men have to be providers. Men have to, right? So there's a lot of that as well. Well, since I haven't seen anything from Alicia come up and I haven't heard from Yuma either, I'm going to pull a card for Jess. Okay. And then after Jess, I'll pull a card for you, Phoenix. See ya. I'm ready. All right, Jess. I do. Go the distance, but in protection mode. So that's the card for Jess. Number 47, dear. So we'll just read the essential meaning and then I'll give you your protection message. Okay. So going the distance, the essential meaning is the endurance, strength, and the long haul. But what you really want to be looking for is the protection message. Do you feel as if you've been wandering the desert now for ages and ages and nothing is happening? When you conjure up the image of the desert, you picture parched lips, sunburned skin, and mirages. But there is more to it than that. Amid the hot sands are creatures with resilient spirits, tough skins, and the willingness to burrow deep underground for water so that they may thrive. This is a time for developing survival skills and resilience. You are learning how to conserve your strength, and in this temporary time of austerity, it's wise to be selective about where you expend your energy. Listen to the call of your soul because it will never lead you astray. This is an important time for letting go of what's not important. Such a good one. And this deck, this is one of my favorite decks. The pictures on it, I would frame just about every single one of them and put them on my wall. They're just beautiful. So I'll pull a card for you now, Alicia, because I did ask, but then you didn't say anything, so I assumed you weren't here. So think about that when you're going through your day. Really get in tune with your gut, right? And asking yourself the question before you're doing it. Does this align with me? Do I want this? Is this still something that's important to me? And wait for yourself to be like, right? If you're hearing from yourself, or don't do it. It's not for you, right? And go through your day just making those decisions in that way and reevaluate what's in your life and how it's showing up. Okay. Hi, Alicia. And you were Yuma. I had mentioned both of you, but nobody said anything. So I assumed you guys took off. All right. So I know that I did Jess's card. So we'll go back. Alicia, this is for you. Oop. Get those flipped back over. And then Phoenix. I'll put you on the list, Phoenix. But after Phoenix, I'm going to close it down, okay? So I'm going to do Yuma, Alicia, Yuma, Phoenix, and then that's it for this morning. But I will be back Monday for free reading, and at 9 a.m. I'll do the collective. Shia, maybe. We'll have to see. Maybe, Sia. You're welcome. Sia's like, no. All right, Alicia. Let's channel Alicia. Yeah, that's this one, Alicia. Oh, Alicia, is that all that glitters? I pulled that for Corey this morning, the all that glitters. So that all that glitters is a good message for all of us. I really believe it's a great message for all of us. Now, are you looking specifically at relationship, or were you looking specifically for like finance, or were you looking more like a general thing? Like, were you asking like the question that you were asking, or the clarity that you were looking for? I got a vibration from something. Alicia, relationship. I'll read the relationship message for you then. Okay. So all that glitters. Snapchat sending me, try this filter. No, thank you. Essential meaning is a need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, and being mercurial. So the relationship message. Sometimes we try to become something we're not to impress others. We embellish a story a bit, add some dramatic elements to make it more appealing. the real person becomes hidden behind the sparkle and shine. Then there are times when we don't see the true value of someone else because he or she may not have the glitz and glamour that seems so desirable. Now is the time to look past the surface, beyond the mask, to the essence of the person. Who that person is, not what he or she has or can give you, is important. See beyond the glitter and look for the inner glow. Use the eyes in your heart. Let go of the artifice and let what is authentic shine. Okay. So a big part of that, sometimes, like I talk about how in the beginning, when we start our relationships, we'll be like, I love sports. I love sports. Yeah, I watch sports, right? And next thing you know, you get into the relationship and it's like every friggin' Monday is Monday night this and Tuesday night that and Wednesday night this. And we're like, no, I don't actually like watching sports. Like maybe once in a while, but I don't want to watch sports every night. Right. And so we kind of aren't necessarily, a lot of times, I mean, I hope we get to that point, but right. Like the guy, we always pretend that we like what the other person, or we shouldn't say always, I hate using the word always, but oftentimes when we're in the early stages of a romantic relationship, when we're starting to attract the partner, we're too afraid to say we don't like something because we're worried that if we don't align with everything that they like, that we're not going to keep them. Right. But we're being our false self at that point. So it's just about being authentically you and showing up in the relationship exactly as you are, and then looking at them. The other part of the message is, how sometimes we think, oh, I want my perfect partner. He's going to look a certain way. He's going to dress a certain way. He's going to have a certain level of income. He's going to have certain, activities that he likes to do. So we have this idea of how we want our partner to show up. Maybe somebody's showing up in your life that doesn't look like that image and you're kind of hesitant about them, but it's okay. Sometimes what's going to show up is going to be way better than what you think it's going to be. It's kind of like, if you're sitting there waiting for, my partner has to be 6'2" and he has to, and meanwhile, some guy shows up that's 5'11" and you're like, I'm disregarding, he ain't 6'2", he ain't the guy that I'm looking for. Right. Just accept him. Maybe that 5'11" guy is going to rock your world. That's the kind of message that card has. So Yuma, looking specifically at whether or not you met your soulmate when you were in New York and you live in Australia. You're welcome, dear. Let's see what the message is for that, for Yuma. This one here. Which one of you guys? Oh, it's that guy. A leg up. So let's see. There's somebody in here. I don't know if this is going to give you the message that you're looking for. 34. Number 34. So the card is this, a leg up. So let's see what we can deduce for this encounter that you had. So receiving help, delegating authority, and interdependence. So relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask, and it is given. So I really feel like what the message is from this card is, so are you in communication with the person that you met in New York? Are you still communicating with them? Yuma? And by the way, the next card will be for Phoenix. Are you communicating with them, Yuma? Because if you are, it's asking you to be honest and have that, just be open with them and have that communication with them. And you might be surprised with what they come back with, right? So I would just be honest with them, be forthright and honest with them about how you're, like that you're interested in them, that, or how you're feeling about them. And you being in that honest state, you'll hear back from them about, their role within your life. Okay. So the next card is for Phoenix. Hi, Shauna. I just moved from Alberta at the end of October. I was living up in Fort Saskatchewan, which is about a half an hour, not quite. It's about 20 minutes northeast of Edmonton. in case you don't know. So Phoenix, I love your name, like the name Phoenix. I do this one. Oh, I'm in Ontario now. Hi from Saskatchewan, Sia. So time for a nap is the card that I pulled for Phoenix. For Phoenix. We'll see. I try to do only an hour and I'm already 6 minutes over and lots of people still asking for a card. So we'll see. But first is Phoenix number 24. Number 24. So time for a nap. Rest, rejuvenation, and renewal. Temporary non-action, allowing dreams to arise. This is a time for you to step away and rest. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat, and rest. Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement now. Okay. Sometimes it's important for us to step back. We have 3 states that we can be in. We can be in that work state, maybe in the play state or the rest state. And they're all vitally important, right? We're not just human doings, we're human beings. So this is a time for you to just rest and be in that state of receiving, more of the feminine energy as opposed to the masculine energy. So you just want to pull back a little bit. So Sia, because that one went really fast, I'm going to be nice and pull a card for you. And then we'll see. Okay. Huh? And then I'm going to hang up. My mom's saying I have to hang up after Sia because she came to visit and I'm not visiting and I have another appointment. Oh, well, isn't that perfect to end with that card? Yin. Because I've been talking a lot today about the feminine energy. Right? So now we get to hear about the feminine energy for sure. So yin is the divine feminine energy. Okay? So the feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. So this is that state of being, right? And I always talk about the best way that I like to describe the difference between masculine and feminine energy is talking about a school dance. Masculine energy would be walking across and asking that person to dance because there's that active part of going and seeking out. So, but the feminine energy, it's not just about allowing whatever to just happen. There's a conscious part to that. So that female energy is the girl that's standing there when the guy comes and asks, who consciously says yes and then goes and dances. So that's what you want to do. You want to be in that and that consciously making a decision about what's happening, but in that receptive state of allowing it to come to you as opposed to going and seeking it. Okay. So that's the energy that you're in today. So that was a wonderful morning. I thank everybody so much for joining me. Big loves to you all. Put in a nice little heart here. Big loves to you all. Thank you for the likes and stuff on there. I think that possibly the time that I will come on. So Phoenix, I did pull you a card. I pulled time for a nap. Time for a nap was the one that I pulled for you. So that's about taking that rest. going internal. There's been a lot of that today within the messages, just, you know, being in that feminine receptive energy is definitely a big just direction from the cards for today, is just to be receptive and authentic and, you know, be a human being again and not a human doing. So anyway, I love you guys. I will be back on 9 a.m. on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And again, I'll do the collective reading and then I go into individual card pulls for about an hour. So I try to stay within that 9 to 10 range, but I will go over by a few minutes to make sure that I close up like the rest of the cards that people have requested. But on Sunday, I believe it'll be Sunday night, I will be going live on TikTok only, but just on TikTok, where I will be doing card pulls, but they will be in exchange for gifts. So if that's something, watch me to come live and you can always participate in that as well. But I love you guys and I hope you have a wonderful Friday. Yay. You'd have to tune in with me at another time to have me answer that question, because like I said, I'm hopping off now because I have a mom that's here to visit. So I'm going to go visit with my mom. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. We'll start closing that one first, and then we can work on the two. Boop. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day.